Hi, welcome back to Two Kims One Pod. I'm one of your hosts, Peter Kim.
I'm your other host, Eunji Kim.
That's right. Eunji is in full makeup. You look literally like a Hello Kitty ad. Like you should be the face of Sanrio right now. You look so cute. By the way, did I tell you I went up to the Santa Monica like an open mic, and this guy had pictures of us like doing our podcast. Like he hosts like a not fake, but like a late night show setup. So he was like, it's like an open mic where you get interviewed afterwards.
Okay.
Like you come to the couch. It's very like Johnny Carson-esque.
Sure.
And he had all these like pictures of like me and things that I've done. And like he had a picture of you and me. You know that like infamous picture of us scrubbing each other live? He had printed out this picture of us. And he's like, who is this? And I was like, oh, that's my podcast partner, Eunji Kim. And he was like, wow. That is the most beautiful woman.
Has he never seen women before?
Calm down. Relax. Okay, this is getting awkward. Yeah. You called me over here to try to like get into my friend's pants, like
showing you a picture where I'm not wearing any pants. Like,
no, truly, like you're like you choose the picture where she's in bra and panties. You're like, this is the most beautiful. I don't even think your face was visible.
That's what I mean.
Like, you're
like I was like, has he seen
it was
women?
So awkward.
That's so weird.
You mean this tween-bodied child woman? Okay, odd.
Also, to print that out at the CVS must have been crazy.
At the CVS?
Or the Walgreens?
Darling, this bitch went to Kinko's FedEx, honey. Okay, it was hard, what is it called? Cardstock.
Oh my God.
He spent Quan.
Yeah, this is like 100 plus. I mean, multiple photos?
Multiple. It was crazy.
I mean,
I was like, wait, what is happening? This is the guy who has his, I can't remember his name right now because I'm a stoner, but the show is on local access in Santa Barbara, Channel 17.
Oh.
So like I had to do an open mic, quote unquote, to the camera. There was no one else in the room.
What?
Except for like the camera guy. Yeah.
So what did you do? How is this an open mic? It's just, are you supposed to do new material?
I sure did.
Yeah.
Like, you know when you do new material and like no one's there, like did it bomb? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how it went.
Yeah.
Because there was no one in the room to laugh. It's like the tree in the forest thing. Like, if there's no one in your audience, did you bomb? Or did you just think out loud?
I mean, it is really hard. That's why open mics can be tough, because it's not a great gauge of like whether or not a bit works. But this in a vacuum,
it was crazy. I was not aware that that's what it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be a regular open mic, but it was this whole like camera setup. It was strange.
There are so many secret millionaires in comedy.
No, truly. Like, how did he afford all that Kinko's? Like, that was crazy.
There's
like,
so many.
Honey, with inflation?
This is what I'm saying.
Colored ink? Are you kidding me?
But also think about it. It's just for this show. He's never going to reuse it. He can't use the back of that piece of paper.
I'm like, you better have framed that. Like, you ran color copy on
this is what I'm saying. Like this is disposable, like truly disposable income. Hundreds of dollars.
He's throwing money away. Like, okay, he's an oil baron. Like,
right?
Truly?
Because he's literally
what
burning it.
What the fuck are we talking about?
So many secret millionaires in comedy. And if you are one, please let me know. Don't keep it a secret.
Don't keep it a secret.
Please email me.
And Patreon us.
Yes.
By the way, check out the Patreon, guys. There's lots of like behind the scenes footage and extra stuff for you to enjoy. So check that out.
Do you want to put pictures of our feet up there? We'll do it.
Oh my God, should
Patreon?
we? People are gonna unsubscribe so fast, especially my feet. They're gonna be like, "Yuck! Why would you do this to us? Is that gangrenous?" Like they're gonna be worried.
You got a fungal foot. Yeah.
How much would you put your feet up for? Like if you had an OF, what would be your price? And I'm talking like painted piggies, not like
my au naturels.
No. I'm talking about French tipped like you have to like actually like make it look presentable, cute?
I don't know. I mean, if I did it, I just put it raw. I put it out raw, just like my.
You wouldn't like dress it up at all?
No, I'd put it out raw, and then like for a special
Okay.
occasion, I'd be like put it in like a Santa
For the
hat
holidays.
For the holidays, I'd
Yes,
put do
exactly.
something.
That's Santa hat. I love that you're going Christian holiday. That's amazing. You're not putting like you're not like holding a menorah between your
Putting a little yarmulke
your
on my
toe.
big toe.
It's Rosh Hashanah.
I mean, it's gonna be Passover soon, but I mean, like, you know what? I didn't even think about it. I just assumed that there's most people are Christian, so
That's true.
I would say that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what is your price for something like this? I just know the work that goes into it.
I guess it depends on like how many followers I have because I'm trying to make money, right?
Yeah.
So like if I had like 100 followers, I think I put it up for like, I don't know, $10 to look at my painted feet.
Yeah, I do.
That's $1,000.
Yeah,
I can make.
I think my
if
minimum.
everyone bought.
Yeah,
That's if everyone bought. Yeah.
I would say my minimum for something like that would be like $1,000 or something.
That's how much I want to net
Yeah.
per foot pic.
Yes.
Like if I'm to be known as like a foot bitch, then I'm going to need to capitalize on that. I can't just be like willy-nilly having my feet out there.
Yeah, and there's a lot of girls are doing it and like making pretty good money, and they're not like doing anything crazy. Like I would argue
They're literally just standing or like laying about.
Yeah, I would say like there's some things that border on like boudoir photos. Are you familiar with this? Like boudoir?
Yeah, but for feet?
Yeah, I mean
Like
also
they have like lace socks on or something?
yeah, like they have like it's like scenarios for this stuff, and it takes work. It's like it's like new content all the time. It's the same content machine that
Yes.
all of us are victim to. They got to do it too.
Honey, you need the lighting, you need the angles, multiple angles.
Yes.
Okay. What story are we telling?
Are you putting makeup on
Okay.
you're putting makeup on your feet? Are you retouching?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I don't know if I would be willing to put in that work
Not for your feet.
or any of this. I mean, it'd have to be a pretty hefty price. I don't know.
Okay, she's got integrity. She's got multiple jobs. That's
I have so many.
you're not
fucking
desperate
jobs.
yet. You're not desperate yet. So I'll check back in 6 months. How about that?
Yeah, check back in 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah,
She might be singing a different tune.
I'll be toe tapping. I'll be tapping my
That's
toes
right.
to a different tune. That's right. I mean, I don't know. What about you? Are there things that you would not do for money? What's something you wouldn't do for money?
Would not ever do for money. I guess it depends. Like sexually, I don't think anyone's looking for me to do anything sexual for money, but if they were,
Yeah.
let's say like, I don't know, there's like a niche underground, 100,000 people in the world who are like, that body, I can orgasm to every day just by looking at it. Let's say there was a like psychotic niche out there that just like really was into my curvaceous body.
I don't think it's
and
that
puffy
niche.
nipples?
I don't think it's that niche, and I don't think it's as few as 100,000.
Okay, let's say it was 1 million.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe it, but let's say it was 1 million, and I could make a living off of that same crop of million people.
Let's say 200,000.
200,000.
Yeah, 250,000. Yeah.
Let's say they're subscribing to me to make me live a like comfortable life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm like that weird about sex. Like I find it funnier than embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like I find myself, like I was having sex with Eric the other day, and I just like caught myself in the mirror, and I was like, you look so stupid. You know what I mean? Like not ugly or like not like ill, you fat bitch or whatever. Like you look so dumb.
I know.
Trying to like arch your back into this position. Like you just look like you just look stupid. Like, and I find sex to be so like ridiculous and funny, and like all parts of it, like getting into it, like even like switching, like, oh my God, I'm working on this joke where like the other day I would like my Eric and I are trying to like switch things up, so we switch positions in the middle of doing it.
Okay.
And tell me why, like, as I'm switching, I'm literally like going, oh, you know, like, and all I was doing was going from my stomach to my back. Like I was literally turning not even 360 degrees, like 180. And I'm like, like that. It's so, I guess it is embarrassing. That's why it's funny. But like, I don't find it like embarrassing to the point where like no one can see it. Like, I think I would get a kick out of people like paying me to have sex.
I mean,
I think that'd be so stupid.
I think that it would, I think the same thing. I also think it's funny because like so much of sex, you have like, you look like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you look awful.
You look awful.
Yeah.
Like you always.
I'm constantly clenching.
I'm clenching. I always have a double chin. Like it's always not.
Yeah. I'm scowling. Like I'm not like, you're not doing this right.
Yeah.
You know, like.
I've never done sex correctly. So like, I think I understand. And I feel the same way about how funny sex is. I think the only thing that would keep me from doing OF or like a super sexual thing would be because I would hate to do it all the time. Like I don't like regular
sex are fun.
Yeah. Like I just wouldn't want to do it all the time. I kind of be like, ugh. Like, you know, and I like,
well,
you know,
that's why it's paid so well.
Yeah.
Because no one really wants to do it.
It's
like
just,
if it was like something fun, like eating.
See, I could do that.
God, I would love.
See, I don't mind doing things.
Bitch.
Yes, I do not mind doing things that are fetishized and could be viewed as sexual, but like the actual sex of it,
not the actual sexual. Okay,
you know what I mean?
Let's
like
try
I don't
eating.
know.
Let's try eating.
Yeah, I could eat, but like even all the sex of it. I guess even like the content. Like I have to constantly think of new stuff. You gotta like. There's so much maintenance and upkeep, and also I don't love the idea.
It sounds like stand-up clips.
This
like
is what
it's
I mean.
exactly what
It's
you're
like,
talking about.
and then
It's like taking the joy right out of it.
Exactly, and it's like, but then I have to do it with something I don't even like that much, right? Like as opposed to stand-up, at least I have such a deep love for it, and I love, you know, and I enjoy it versus like sex.
I know. Yeah, you're right. I don't enjoy sex enough to like make it a content creation thing.
Yeah,
that would really like bum me out.
Like,
but you know, we're
like
running out
like
of options.
So. I don't like being sexy like that all the time either. It's like so much work.
Oh, it's the worst. It's like trying to appeal to someone's like, and most of the time it's like downsizing your brain. Like you have to act dumber and younger and babyier. Patriarchy. Patriarchy. Yuck.
How was that show? We were down in Santa Monica for a specific thing, though, weren't you?
Santa Monica for what?
A show. You didn't just go down there for this open mic and the public access.
Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara, yeah.
Santa Barbara. The show was not, I mean, it was crazy. It was an outdoor show and there was 4 people there. And it was 2 couples and one of the couples left in the middle of my set. So really fantastic to drive 2 hours for that. Yeah, so it was not great. But, you know, whenever I leave LA, I do like really appreciate Southern California. Like the drive was beautiful. You know, you hug the Pacific Coast Highway as you get up to Santa Barbara. And Santa Barbara is so beautiful. So like it was a great time, except for the comedy portion. And it's been cold because it's raining here. So like an outdoor show makes no sense. But you know, it was what it was. And you know, we have those kind of sets. I've been having a lot of like, kind of like rough bar sets type of thing where people are loud and you're like fighting over a bar that's not paying attention type of sets. It really reminded me of a lot of Chicago sets I've done. And it kind of made me feel like good about it in that like, sure, it wasn't an amazing clean set that I could, you know, put up on internet or whatever, but
sure,
there are those like sets I've been having. Like I had like about 2-3 sets in the last 2 weeks where I was like, wow, I'm really like out here grinding.
Yes.
Like I'm doing the craft of it, and it feels so good.
I mean, like pulling together a new chunk or a new 5 when you've got a thing and it's like getting traction and you have momentum with something. I really do not think that there's anything better. Yeah. I mean,
more exciting.
Yeah. Like truly. And then when you're doing the grind of it, like it does suck, but also when new shit hits, like it's truly in spite of the circumstances, you know, I've definitely done shows in front of 15 people and done new stuff and felt like really good about it, and like try to be friends with everyone in the audience after the show where they're like, I'm gonna go home. I'm like, but don't you want to relive what we just went through together?
Wow, that rarely happens to me, but and it, mostly because I don't really stick around after shows, and I'm starting to change that now.
Okay.
Like I said, I think I said this last week's show, like I'm really trying to like try the thing that I have been actively avoiding, which is the like comedy hang, not leaving right after my set, you know, hanging around, making the like sticky, whatever. I had my first set at the Improv, the Hollywood Improv.
Oh, how'd it go?
It was incredible. It was so fun. The comic before me went up, and it was clear that her set and I had just gotten there right before my set. So it was clear that the room, and I was in the middle of the lineups, so it was clear that the room was packed but quiet.
Ooh, those are the worst.
Yes, because even the host was like, y'all are sold out and you're acting like there's no one here.
Yeah.
I need you to get the fucking energy up.
Yeah. Loosen up.
A great host to mention that and be like, hey, laugh out loud, bitch.
Yeah.
So I really appreciated that before my set. And then I went up and they were a little like tight at the top of my set. But then
you broke them.
After I broke them.
Yeah.
And then it was rolling to the point where like after I got off, the host was like, there we go. We fucking cracked it. You know, like, so it felt good to do that at the Improv at my first like showcase set there.
Yeah.
And it was cool. It was really like, and I stayed till the end. No, that's not true. I left right before the last comic, but I had to get to another show. I had 3 shows in one night.
Oh my God.
On Saturday. Can you fucking believe?
That's crazy. How did you drove to?
I've never done that in LA. Ever.
What were the shows? Like 7, 8, 9?
7 at Yard Theater. My spot at Improv was 8. And then the last show was 9:30 at the Lyric, where we did our live show.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm from Hollywood to West Hollywood to Silver Lake.
Wow, and you stayed until the last comic. Wow.
Yeah, because I figured my spot was at 8. So if I leave at 9, then I could get to my last show at 9:30.
For sure.
So I stayed till 9, and then I booked it. But, you know, I was really trying to, like, talk to the comics. Brandy Denise was there, you know, her from Chicago. So, you know, I'm making a more concerted effort to smile. And
is that a smile? I was like, you sneered at me. Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
Okay, snarl. I'm trying, girl. Like, it's tough for me because I have a bad attitude. So like I'm actively trying to like assuage my bad attitude and really be present and gracious to other comics. And there were some really funny I know, you're like, why is that a problem? Why are you not gracious? I don't know. It's something about like, it's almost like sex. Just to bring it back to our original thing, like there's something about after I get off stage, I don't know if women feel this, but men feel this all the time. Like literally after we orgasm, we're like, okay, I want to turn around and be alone, and I want to eat, or like I don't want you anywhere near me.
Yeah. You're gonna flip over and wipe the jizz off the
Yeah, the nightstand, the lamp, everything. But
you had to do a little bit of cleanup before you go. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know how like when you're single and fucking around, that's kind of the modus operandi, right? You hook up, you have a nice time, and then you say bye-bye.
You bid
and
adieu.
Uber home.
You bid each other adieu. Yeah.
Right. And then when you get into a relationship, like you do the snuggle and the post-coital hug and the spooning, and then you let your pheromones mix in the air together, and it creates this like attachment and emotional stickiness and all that kind of stuff, right?
The linger.
So the linger, the cranberries. So like I think, and I know that up till recently I have been treating comedy like that, like blow and go.
Yes.
Pump and dump. You know what I mean? Like
as a booty call. Yes. As a late night.
Yeah.
Sneaky link you up. Yes.
100%. And now I am starting to treat comedy like a
relationship.
We might be exclusive. We're determining the relationship. It's getting sticky.
You're playing games with comedy? You don't want to just tell you?
I was like, with comedy, I was like, let's see if you stick.
You're playing the game where you're like, you don't text back until a week later.
Yeah.
You're like,
I was leaving comedy on red.
Yes, you're following the rules like that. Those ladies. Yeah,
what rules?
There's it's sort of like Sex and the City, where there's like a very specific rules that a woman is supposed to follow and engage in order to get the ring. And so it's it was during an era in which it's, you know what it was? It's like the equivalent of the Cosmo blowjob tutorial sort of stuff. They were very prescriptive.
10 tips to blow his mind.
Because they were
curl his toes.
Very prescriptive things and ways to be a woman. And then during the Sex and the City era, I think there were very specific ways that a woman was supposed to date. And it's back to
Did you follow those?
No, I was never trying to date.
You were like me.
Yes, but it was a pump and push off, and like
pump and jump,
leap off.
Yeah.
Yay! I don't think it ever occurred to me to engage and do any of that stuff. Also, like any of those prescriptive things, it's actually, I feel like it's like that again now on TikTok. It's the sprinkle sprinkle era. And it's very much like telling women how to do things. And I'm obsessed with the sprinkle sprinkle lady.
I love
sprinkle sprinkle. Yeah. Sprinkle sprinkle. But
my favorite line of hers, because she has so many great one-liners.
She really does.
She reads, and you know how like she reads if you guys don't know, check her out. Just TikTok sprinkle sprinkle lady. But
so funny.
So funny. She reads a comment, a question that someone asked her on her live, and the question was, how do I know if a man is lying? And she goes, honey, he opened his mouth. Sprinkle, sprinkle. It's like such like old school like comedy, like stand-up comedy stuff, but like it's so funny because like she don't give a fuck. She has a daddy that pays for everything. She knows the rules of her life and she's getting it done.
She's so funny. I mean, it's always that, or like she's always talking about how men are ultimately like all of them are gay, and she's always talking about like, once he goes
agree. She's
like, oh, that once he's in prison, it doesn't matter. So like, I don't know why you're so worried about it. Like about like whether or not you're attractive. There's so many women be like, I'm not attractive. She's like, who cares? Like, like, they're all gay. They want to fuck each other. So why you even worry about it? Sprinkle, sprinkle.
Yeah. Get that money, sprinkle, sprinkle.
I love her. I love her too.
It is the Bible.
But it was during that era where it's like, I think that's where it was like the Sex and the City stuff. But I mean, it's good to know that you're ready to commit.
I don't know if I'm ready. I feel nervous. You have been pumping and dumping in comedy for 10 years. Yeah, I know.
If I was bitch,
put a ring on it.
If I was comedy's friend, I would say leave his ass.
Right. Dump him.
Sprinkle,
he's
sprinkle.
so toxic and good.
Yes.
But he's so good in bed that comedy can't leave me. I'm not good for comedy, but I'm so good in bed.
There is
It
no
keeps wanting
dick.
to fuck me.
There is no dick good enough. Comedy, there's no dick good enough.
You're right. I do have to put a ring on it. But here's the thing. Comedy is not it's not a monogamous relationship.
Of course
You're
not.
in a
Of course not.
polygamous thing, right? Or polyamorous thing.
Yes.
And what it feels like is that comedy is my main partner, but now I got to deal with all these other bitches on the side. And I'm like, do I love comedy enough to agree to this polyamorous situation? That's where I am. And I'm like,
Who are the other partners?
every other fucking comic that I have to be around.
So like the other partners are the idea of being friendly to others. It's not even the other comics. It's just being friendly.
If I had it in me, honey, if I had it in me, I would be so successful. You understand, like, and all the listeners understand, like, it is hard for me to do this, and it's only because I don't know. I think I'm wired in a way to not do it. Much like my dad. Like, if I was wired like my mom, I would have been on fucking Netflix is a joke. Honey, they would fuck Netflix is a joke. They would have the Peter S. Kim Comedy Festival in East Los Angeles. Okay? If I had my mom's personality, but I don't. I have my dad's fucking Toron. Like that personality.
Oh my god. Your
and
personality.
the Aishibai personality
your
does
Aishibai
not
personality.
right?
Aigu. Yeah.
Aishibai is a personality that you and I both know. There's a lot of these Koreans out there. It's like Aishibai. Like that is my personality because it's my dad's personality.
It's all ajashis that smoke like this.
Like upside down.
Like they're all
and then like all spitting on the same part of the street. Like
they're always smoking in front of their failing business. Those are the all.
Yeah, in a full kimchi squat.
They're always smoking in front of their failing business. That's the Aishibai ajashis.
That's the Aishibai ajashi. So here's what I'm wired as Aishibai. My father's father. All they are. I would come from a line of Aishibais.
I am also of an Aishibai ajashi. Yeah.
But you're so good at not being that.
I think that's because I think that's part of that is patriarchy.
Therapy?
No, patriarchy.
Oh.
Because as a woman, I've learned to get along.
Interesting. So you have been reared in a way to like
smile,
uphold patriarchy.
Smile, get along. Like everybody, let's coordinate. Let's do this. Like, yeah, be friendly.
Wow.
To be friendly.
Wow.
Because it is not natural to me either.
No.
I mean,
I don't know how you do it.
Have you heard me talk to my husband? I mean, like, I'm not nice.
No, you're not. And you're upsetting at times. But that's why I'm always like, wow, how does she do? But also you love the hang of it all.
I do like
you
the
actually like it.
I do. I love the hang.
I'm trying to get to a place to like the hang and not immediately go home and eat. Like that's my number one goal after I get off stage is go home and eat or go grab something to eat and then go home.
Yeah.
Like nothing I want more. And I feel like that's the exact thing that or that's the way you feel about the hang. Like I can't wait to get off stage and hang.
Yes. That is
That's
my meal.
so cool.
I mean, I like
That's
food
so
too.
cool.
I like after the hang, I usually go home and eat like a bowl of something. I do like that. It's like it is something about sex.
But you're not rushing home.
No, I would prefer
Okay.
the hang. Yeah, it's something about the food, but there is something tied to like comedy, sex, and food. That's all.
Yes.
It's a heady.
It's immediate. The
Yeah.
immediacy, the immediate gratification.
Something about it,
Yes.
right? I mean,
yes, absolutely.
yeah, for sure. I'm glad to hear that you're having so much like fun doing the shows, like especially in these like bar shows.
I really am. Yeah.
Ooh, I mean,
yeah. How's it been for you? You just did Don't Tell Chicago.
I did Don't Tell. That was really good.
Yeah. You think you'll get a good tape out of that?
I didn't tape it.
They didn't tape it?
No. They don't tape it.
What?
Usually they just have...
They don't tape it?
No. Most of the Don't Tells, like if you guys aren't familiar with it, they're like pop-up shows that occur in secret locations all over the country. So wherever you are in the world, there's one in London, there's one in LA, there's many in LA. One in New York and stuff. Yeah, they don't film all of them. The ones that you see online, like those kind of clipped ones, those are special tapings basically. And there's
they don't tape all of them?
No.
Interesting. Okay, so someone I know, a comic friend of mine, just did a taping and he got paid $10K.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that everyone was getting paid that. Everyone who does Don't Tell, like that they tape. So do they tape? Is it only for the taped ones that get paid $10,000?
Yes.
Oh, and those are like super special shows.
Yes, they're like the new Comedy Central, like, and you only do 10. So amazing. And the line and the wait to get in, I don't know, is long.
Yeah. I bet.
But I mean, like the 10K is, it's not for all of them. No, these are just regular shows that pop up. They do it every month, every week. How could they pay every single one $10,000? No.
No. But I thought they were taping all of them at least.
No.
For their socials.
No.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. So it went well, your show?
Oh, yeah. It went really well. It was very fun. It's like a special it was especially big and
yeah, what was that venue? It looked big.
It was really big, and I was a little afraid because I know the venue, it's a wedding venue, so it's really high ceilings and it's like really expansive.
Oh,
but it was one of those things where, oh man, they were leaning in. I mean,
ooh,
especially like they were leaning in, and it was like a wide cross section of people because it's like downtown, and so it was all races, all gender, like old, young, and
cool.
Yeah, it was really good. But I've been doing a lot of like, so it's so weird. So I've been having pretty good shows. So I had pretty good shows lately, and because I'm working on some new stuff, but I'm like, it's kind of gelling together a little bit. And so you know what I mean, when you're in that spot. But I'm also directing the stand-up show for students right now.
At DePaul, yeah, that's right.
It is so funny to see like the beginnings of, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know how you have like the puffy nipples when they first started? Like I'm seeing their like little budding bosoms.
Tatas? Okay.
Like,
okay, and is it making you feel what? Good?
It makes me feel like I wish that there was a way to, you know what it is. It doesn't make me feel like anything, but it does make it. It affirms the fact that there is no shortcut. There is just absolutely no shortcut.
Yeah.
Like any sort of like advice or sort of insight I can give them, it does not matter. It's just time and reps and doing it. And sometimes you just have a bigger rack than someone next to you. You're just genetically, I was
just thinking about Matt Rife, and I'm like, he did have a shortcut.
Yeah. But I mean, sometimes genetically you just have bigger tits. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So
That's just life.
So,
yeah.
but ultimately that there are no shortcuts. And it's also very funny to see, they're all teens, you know? So like so much of their life is in front of them, and them trying to pull on like stuff. It's like all like stuff from like
that they've experienced.
It's like from 7th grade. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. That's so cute in a way.
I know, it's really cute.
That's really sweet.
I will say that I've found more empathy for these young people than I have in the past because of this. Because I'm like, yeah, they just have,
and they're being authentic.
And it's just and I was telling them, I was like, you know, you don't need to have a take on anything in culture because no one wants to hear what a 19-year-old has to say
Yeah.
about
And
anything.
what would you have to say? Exactly.
You're only mirroring other stuff, so it's not authentic to you.
Yeah.
It's not coming from a real place. Yeah, tell me about some shit that happened to you in 7th grade.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
everyone's been in
actually
7th
real.
grade.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think, yeah, that's true. And I think that's what like Pete Davidson really did well. Although I don't know what he's doing now, but like when he blew up, he was 19 and talking about his dad dying in 9/11.
right.
And that, not that was the only thing he did, but that was a very personal thing that he had a funny take on.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think it's true that like if you're young, you have to be personal. Like your observational takes they've already been said. You heard it on TikTok already.
I mean, like, and like depending on your persona or whatever you decide to adopt, for sure. But that's the
And
other
there are
thing.
those old souls too. I'm sure you see like
Yes.
people who are just kind of like grandpas from the beginning. Yeah.
So it's like, and so they're them figuring out their persona. It's like when you realize the version of yourself that you put on stage has been curated and called over X amount of time. You know, like I think I was pretty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like remembering, and it's again, there are no shortcuts. That's the part of the reason why I think, because ultimately, like comedy is so just, you know, and so it doesn't matter like how long or even, you know, if you can figure it out, you can figure it out, but there still are no shortcuts, you know? Yeah.
I love that. I love that about comedy because it's the great equalizer that way. Because no matter how popular you are, you have to still wield a room, and there are no shortcuts. It's only reps.
Absolutely.
Speaking of that, I'm going to Austin soon, and I'm trying to get up on some of these shows. And I reached out to someone who did JFL with me,
Okay.
and he has a weekly show there. And I was like, hey, at the Mothership, which is Joe Rogan's club. And I was like, listen, hey, it's me. We did JFL together. I see you're doing this show. Can I come do a spot? And he reached out saying, that show is the anniversary show. It's for door guys only. So I can't let you do it. And I was like, okay, cool, you know? But it really made me think like, wow, Austin and Mothership, they're really becoming a huge scene there where it's like they're creating their own kind of like community and industry there, sort of, because there's like now like 3-4 clubs in one city, which is kind of what like New York and LA are, Chicago. It's like you have 3-4 clubs, like that's a big comedy town, right? Usually most cities have like one, if they have
one or
So-
two. Yeah.
most big cities, yeah. But and San Diego has 3 now, but because of this like move down there from the podcast comedians world, like they've really become this thing. And I was thinking like I was watching this thing on YouTube about like Austin comedy scene like burgeoning, and my cousin who lives there, it was like, when you come for South by Southwest, will you do comedy? Like, should we get you on shows? And I'm like, who's we?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, every bar here has a comedy show. So, like, you should do shows here. And it's, like, becoming so big, right?
Mm-hmm.
And while I think that's, like, really great for upcoming comedians because you have more stage time and more stages available for you to do your reps, I wonder, like, what's your opinion on, like, YouTube comedians creating a scene? Like, is that sustainable?
Have you seen when you go there? Let me know.
What?
I mean,
what are you saying?
the scene is very young, and there was a gold.
That's what I mean. Like, it's like a new comedy
and
scene.
it was a gold rush during the pandemic of people going there to start and be a comic there, and it was like a scene, right? And like you're saying, like it had been sanctioned and dubbed and christened by Joe Rogan.
You're Joe Rogan's, you're Tom Segura's.
Well, I mean, and they're all like sort of in that universe, right? The same sort of
the Roganverse.
Yes. And I mean, at this point, it's sort of similar to the MCU, right? Because it spawns so many podcasts, and those podcasts have spawned podcasts, you know? And there's like tertiary characters that move in and out, fall in and out of favor with the Rogan and come in and come out again, you know?
Yeah.
There are new talents that rise and then come back down.
Yeah.
But a lot of Segura lives there. Bert doesn't. And I'm sure they work out there, but all the comics are new. And we just talked about how there are no shortcuts.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's the scene. I mean, there were like a couple of veteran comics that moved there, but they a lot of time also go on the road. So in terms of the actual shows there and all the stuff that people are consistently doing, it's just a young scene. So a lot of the comics are young.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, and my point is, like, of course the comics are going to be young because it's a new scene, but are the older comics there punching the same weight as other scenes like New York or Chicago? And I'm wondering that because, you know, like an Andrew Schultz who like talking about shortcuts, became like a huge sensation because he started posting all his like crowd work clips and then became like a podcaster first, right? So,
but he was a comic for a while. I think he had already been passed at the Cellar. A little different. Yeah,
sure. But like that's become like the thing now. It's like, oh, you podcast now. You're a podcast comedian, and whether you do actual sets on stage is almost like irrelevant. So like in that scene, are the like veterans of that scene or the top comics of that scene, are they pound for pound punching at the same weight class as like the other big cities? I'm wondering. I don't know, because like the other big cities aren't driven by the fame of podcasters. You know, it's driven by comedy first, and then podcast just happens to be a way they're selling ads or whatever the fuck. It almost feels like Austin is like the other way around, where it's like is Joe Rogan your comedy king there? You know what I mean? Like, forget how famous he is and how many millions of whatever he has. As a comic, are you going out to watch Joe Rogan?
I mean, people are. Tons. Arenas.
But because he's famous or because he's a good comic? Like, there's fan comedy versus comedy. Like, we've talked about this many times.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I don't want to yuck someone's yum. And, you know, I can't imagine that you would spend $150 or whatever it is to go to see him at like a huge stadium if you don't identify with it deeply in some way, right? Like, I mean, I'm not a fan of anything, so I don't know. But like,
I don't think I would ever want to watch a comic in an arena.
Yeah.
That feels like it should be a rock concert, not a one person monologuing. Like, that doesn't feel right to me. Like, what's the point of that?
I think that
as a consumer, like as a fan, that's a different thing. If you're a fan, you'll do anything for anyone. You'll go to the fucking moon.
But that's what I mean. Like, I think that he does have like a draw, and he is compelling to an audience in a way that they would do that. And it's in a stadium worth of those people many times over. And, you know, are they punching in the same? I don't even know if they're in the same weight class, because they're not boxing. It's like a different.
Right. They're doing something. Yeah. They're doing MMA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that might be more of an apt description of it. But I mean, then Segura is a real comic, though. You know, so I would not say that he is a podcaster guy. I mean, he has a ton of podcasts, and it's very, very famous from the podcast. But also, he's just does comedy, right?
I don't know. I've never seen him do comedy live, but I've never seen any of these guys do comedy live.
Yeah.
So my point is, like, are they like doing spots like at the Comedy Store where like all these heavy hitters are doing 10 minutes each, and they're not bringing their fans out. They're just doing comedy.
Segura does
right?
it. So does Bert.
In Austin, you mean?
No, at the store in LA.
No, I know, but like what's happening in that scene in Austin? And the reason why I'm like even thinking about that is because, you know, anywhere there's a comedy scene, I'm interested, no matter what, who's in charge of whatever the fuck, right? And I'm going to Austin soon, so I was doing all this research about like who are the bookers, who am I talking to, who do I beg for stage time, how do I get spots, you know, and and then it just made me. It's like no one I know. I've never seen or heard any of their names because it's a totally different city. But like in New York or LA and Chicago, like any given like weekend spot, you're gonna see heavy hitters doing time. You know, like, and I wonder if that's the case or it's so young that they don't have that yet. Like they're still growing to that level of like fucking monsters doing 10 minutes in one lineup. As opposed to like, come see me because you know me, which is a very different thing. You might as well just be a bringer show. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I know that there are a few comics that moved to Austin from like New York and LA that are a little more further along in their careers. So, and they get a lot of stage time there.
Man, that feels so fucking intriguing to me. I mean, fuck Texas, but
what? You want to move there?
I don't know about move, but like LA's very unsustainable as far as like living here.
What about Duluth?
You know, so
that
like,
makes more sense to me than fucking Austin.
Maybe. I don't know if there's a comedy scene in Duluth.
You could start it.
Like, I don't want to start anything. What the fuck? Ew. No. That sounds horrific.
I mean, you're not moving to Austin. That's crazy.
I have to move somewhere soon because our rent keeps going up. And literally, I bought toilet paper the other day, a 12-pack, and it was $29.
$29?
At Target. I was gobsmacked. I was like, how? This for wiping my ass?
A 12
For wiping
pack?
my fucking asshole?
A 12-pack?
Yes.
Was this in the city limits of Los Angeles?
Yes, Target on the corner. Silver Lake.
$29?
Like, $29 at Target.
What?
I'm not talking about Whole Foods. I'm not talking about Erewhon. I'm talking about Target.
That's...
So imagine how much it is at Whole Foods.
That is so much money.
That's what I'm saying. It's $3 a fucking roll.
Yes.
That my point exactly. Why do you think I need to move? Like, and I'm not making money.
$3.
And Eric's a teacher.
$3.
Thank God we have a fucking bidet.
Yeah, because you can't be using the toilet paper like that.
No, not anymore. I have to take out one square and just like after my bidet session, just stick that one thing up my ass and then throw it out.
You got to dab and go. You got to dab and go.
That's it. I need like
you're air drying your ass. That's where we are in this economy.
Honey, it's tough out here. And let me tell you, I'm not the only one. Like literally every like working class comedian, writer, actor I know is in so much financial trouble. Like it's becoming fucking dire. Like every week I'm talking to people and they're going, fuck, man. And some of these people have kids and I'm like, whoa, how are you here? Like,
yeah, why are you doing this?
I have an Aussie doodle and I'm like, should I like put it out of its misery so that it doesn't starve? Like, what the fuck?
$3 a roll is crazy to me.
Psycho. I know. LA has become untenable. And here's my theory is that every large city is like becoming overinflated, so they just push all the poors out and only the rich could live there.
Sure.
And then the corporations could just buy up all the housing and then like own housing.
Sure. It's like now Chicago sponsored by Unilever, you know,
Yes,
whatever,
exactly.
right? Like it's not the whatever. It used to be Comiskey Stadium and now it's I think T-Mobile something, the arena.
Yeah, they might as well just change New York City to Procter and Gamble City.
Yeah.
You know, like.
I mean, like that $3 a roll is, Peter. I cannot wrap my mind about it. Is it like did you get like the fanciest with the lotion? I mean,
yeah,
in
of course.
it?
I got no lotion. No, it's just like Charmin Extra Soft or whatever the fuck. The ones with the bear. I know my eyes are bugging out of my skull. Yeah. So. And food, oh my God, don't even get me started with the food, like groceries.
Yeah.
I'm going to like Korean markets, right? For like the cheap groceries. That shit is so expensive.
Mm-hmm. It is really, groceries are really expensive right now.
One avocado is $5. 2 avocados for a $10 bill.
You guys are so close to the avocados.
I know. What the fuck is happening? Like,
the avocados are not that expensive here. And you guys are so much closer to it.
It's because we can charge that and people will buy it. Chicago, no one's buying an avocado for $5. They'll be like, let it rot.
Yeah. Like nobody needs guacamole like that. Like what the fuck?
Yeah. We'll go non-guac. We'll just stay with the salsa. We're good. Pico de gallo is free.
I mean, wild.
It's rough out here. I know. Why do you think I'm considering Duluth, Minnesota? Like,
that makes more sense to me than the Austin. Truly.
Just the comedy wise though, like I don't know if I would feel crazy in Duluth without comedy. Like I would have to like become a Midwest road comic.
Yes.
Which sounds absolutely fucking horrifying. So, you know, I'm trying to make things work here. You know, I still got my writing grind. I'll see what happens and hopefully this movie helps push the needle with a little bit, but like girl, let me tell you from the front lines, it's dire.
$3 for I mean, we got to call our reps. I mean, I just call it back to we got to call our reps. We got to get the price of toilet paper down. We got to demand a ceasefire today. I mean, you know what I mean? Like we got to go. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's rough out here in these streets, folks. Okay, I hope wherever you're living, you're wiping your ass more economically. And yeah, but so far, you know, financially, it's been a rough year again, but creatively thriving, I must say. And you know what? I've been saying that a lot, and I don't know if it's like making me feel better or if it's just become like a chant for me. Like,
it must be good because everything else is bad. This must be good because everything else is. I mean,
exactly.
I totally understand. I mean, like it was a bad year financially for us. For me as well last year. This year, it doesn't seem like it's going much better. I am stressing about it, the price of groceries. But yeah, I am not.
And opportunities overall. That's the crazy thing. And tell me why I woke up this morning, the first thing I see on Hollywood Reporter is, okay, well, I guess we're just waiting for the next strike because nothing's being ordered because people are like, why order anything when the Teamsters are going on strike?
Yeah.
So like they're just extending, or the studios are just extending this and being like, hey, we'll plug in garbage until this whole thing is done. So like basically if you read between the lines, it's saying, hold on for another 6 months. I feel crazy. Anyway, so hope your lives are going better than ours. Don't get into comedy or anything in the arts. Stay with math and science and be a woman instead.
Yes, keep studying hard. Hit your head against some books.
Yes.
Don't follow.
Do not chase your dreams.
Do not chase your dreams. Do not think that you're special anyway. You do not have anything to say. Everyone is saying it. Become a TikTok comedian and try to get into that creator fund. Like, oh my God, Peter, the $3 of toilet paper. I'm like fucking reeling.
Yeah, girl, it's tough out here.
Okay. All right. We'll talk to you later, guys.
Yeah. Pray for us. Wish us luck. We'll talk to you next week and I'll update you how much of the toilet paper I've gone through, which is not going to be much at all. Trust. All right, guys. Bye. Bye.